This was most amazing day for me because I just started at dimension 8, I think, at the time. So of course that was included, and I listened to one or the other things. But this was most amazing to see it really compressed and to see the difference and the different steps. So for me that was amazing. And my feeling was, even in dimension 10, he was already moving it forward. So I really look forward to what's gonna happen tomorrow. But this was just so wonderful to have everything in a clear, cut out way of an hour, half an hour, to see that in this great overview. So I'm so happy. I've come all the way, like too many thousand miles, whatever, 5,000 miles, to be here today. Thank you very much,
Thank
Jonette.
you.
So wonderful.
And I think you speak for so many people who just kind of came in the 8th dimension or whatever. You don't know what went before. And I think your higher dimensional experiences will be even more profound now that you know the steps that got you there. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm Vern, and I also really appreciated the compression and the magic of going through all of this at one time, not knowing that I could ever manage to be present this much. So it's been a privilege to be part of the program and also to have this whole experience. I think I started roughly in the last, I don't know how long ago, attending the Mark classes, but it's probably about the 8th dimension where I started. So now I have that background, and my body also had the experience of going through not only those dimensions that we've been studying, but the earlier dimensions, and it took quite a, my body felt like I was being beat up for a while going through some of these, but I had that experience, and by the time we evolved through to the 10th dimension, I felt really clear and clean about who I was, so there was some magic there, and I appreciate that, so thank you.
Thank you, Vern. Always times of disruption. That's when you know you're growing.
This has been an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you. This is the first Mark event I've ever attended. And I've been working with dimensions in the way we have with sacred geometry when we've known of each other. But today, the way you and Mark orchestrated the information, the experience, was powerful. And it was so beautiful. Thank you.
Gregory, thank you. And this man is a wizard. In sacred geometry, he is a wizard. And so it means a lot for you to be here and for you to be moved. Thank you.
I just wanted to express my deep gratitude. And today was the first day I experienced your work with Mark. My friend Andreas told me about your work. But I am so grateful that I came. And I feel like I've been brought to tears. So many different moments today. I've never been led through the dimensions experientially like this. I feel like I've jumped around a lot on my own, but to have it outlined the way you did, so simply and so clearly and with such love and humility is really a blessing. So thank you.
Thank you. Oh. And you all, when you feel these tears, that means we're aligned to the higher levels. The Chinese puzzle, the ball drops down because the gates are open and aligned.
Well, I am Jonette's sister, and although I've known her, well, my entire life, and I've been to some Mark events, this really was the first time that I understand what you do, even though I do our website and do all our marketing, but by being led there, and as you said, doing it simply is, for the first time, I get you, and I get it.
Aw. I had 4 of my sisters here. I only have 4 sisters. They are all here. And it's so wonderful because they haven't always got me, but they've always supported me.
And I was sitting in the Crowley Clan corner. It was very nice. And I've been coming to Mark class since the 6th dimension. And I remember the heart space, and I remember that was 16 years ago.
See how much you did, you guys? 6 dimensions,
I know.
16 years
And
ago.
I was wondering, how in the world is this going to go today? It was marvelous. It was, when I came in the 6th dimension, I remember the feeling of the Mark group carrying me with it. And I had that feeling with all of you today, too. We all went there, and we all were carried into the places together. I just get talk about the goosebumps coming. It's like we do this together. It's you were always a Mark person, and you just showed up today.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so excited about the magic that happens. I also follow you. I got what you are doing since the 8th dimension. I looked into it before, but I didn't get it from experience. I could mentally think I understand, and now when I really experience it, life really changes. Life really changes because you feel that you have an impact, and I feel that's why I'm here, to do this kind of work together and to create the world we really want. And there are so many hindrances, so many obstacles, and as you are so authentically living it with all your vulnerability and all your clarity, we can really see the obstacles and don't have to do the same like we have done for so long times before, but go with this wonderful guidance of Mark, go so clearly this way, and life really changes. Things are just graceful happening. They are pre-created, and now you can just relax and live it. Thank you.
That's a beautiful quote. Thank you.
I'm Trina, and I've been on the adventures with Jonette, I think, for 18 years, maybe longer. Part of the stories in The Eagle and the Condor, I was in the Himalayas with her, I was in Peru with her, and the magic group of people who came on these. I was also in her very first training of soul-body fusion.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, this is so much a part of opening me up and expanding the consciousness and what I know. And sometimes, even if I can't get to Mark nights, it's like I feel it. All of a sudden, it's like, it's got to be 7 o'clock. I can feel it. And I look at the clock, and it's 7 o'clock. So this work is real and true. And the stories, what Jonette has brought through in Eagle and the Condor, it's profound. And experiencing these dimensions, and for today, I think I commented earlier, it's like moving through these was so smooth. And it's a beautiful opportunity with this, with these, the DVDs or what you're producing with this, for anybody to jump in and be able to just smoothly move into these places. I went through all the chunks and bumps and the different things. So I'm just so grateful that you have stepped out and that you're creating this and the books and things that you brought forward. So thank you,
Trina.
Thank you.
So
much
many
gratitude.
years. So many adventures. Thank you.
And we know this friend who talked about the kitten and the cat, and I work with her as an elder, and you brought out the beauty. And one of the things that she says to start your day every day is, may I meet 100 beautiful people and experience 1,000 beautiful things. So stepping into the beauty of it, I mean, that just made me tear up too. So, Wado.
Thank you, whoever. Who's next? You guys, thank you. And we should have started with this. No.
That would have relaxed you,
I
wouldn't
know.
it? Oh. Thank you so much. When I saw your email come across, I thought, we don't usually do very much outside in the world because as teachers and as, the kind of creation of our technology of multidimensional means, it takes something to really draw us, and you did. And so I listened to that, and you also reflected back to me that it was the right thing, and it really has been an amazing and beautiful and very profound day for me. And I think something that is so important is that we demystify these dimensions. It's very hard to put words into these different dimensions. It's to try to explain it. I mean, it truly is beyond me because there's so much. And yet we know how very real it is and that we are being empowered to get this out into the world, that we operate from that multidimensional level. And you did it in such a beautiful a way that it's both, it can speak to so many different varieties of people, which is really important because we are being commissioned to get out to those other folks who need the data, And so you did a beautiful, beautiful job of that. And then taking people on those experiential journeys was wonderful. The energy was amazing. And really important that they could let go of the thoughts and know that once you are in that field, you are changed.
Yes.
And how wonderful, how easy and wonderful to know that the work that we're doing can so simply do what it's meant to do. And so it was masterful. And I love you, Jonette.
Gail, and thank you for your work.
Thank you.
I love what you said, demystify it. Because when it's a mystery, we stay away. And when we stay away, we can't change the world. So, you're all mystics. You just didn't know it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Larry. I met Jonette in a weird way. I was in a Baltimore airport, and our airplane flight got canceled. And we were both sitting in first class, and so we both got on our phones and rebooked tickets. Well, we ended up sitting in the very last row of a plane on the aisles across from each other. And we were probably both a little crabby and tired because it was a really long night. And I was studying my Reiki Master finals and studying all the symbols and all this weird stuff. And I knew people would think I'm weird and I really didn't care. But there was this lady sitting across the aisle from me that kept looking across the aisle and looking at everything I was doing. And about halfway through the flight, she started talking to me, and I'm like, oh my God, what is this all about? Nonetheless, she invited me to go to a weekend event that weekend, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to her place after that. My wife said, we're going. So we met Jonette, I think it was in 1999, and we were probably working on the fourth dimensions. And the most fascinating thing for me has been to learn, number one, that instead of meditating from here, we meditate from our heart and we go out. And what I really learned through all of this after all these years was I always wanted to stay in that place. When we were in Jonette's living room, we went to this incredible love space together. We set this energy and this tone that was so amazing. You just didn't want to leave her house. And so my goal was to learn how to live there all the time.
How do you stay there? And as we kept going through those dimensions, sometimes it was really easy, but we also did a lot of travel. We were flying all the time. We never tried to stay grounded in those days. And when we learned how to ground in, go through your heart, and go out and come back, I finally learned how to stay in that place. And it's really been an amazing journey. Today, while we were enjoying this incredible journey of going through 10 dimensions, I was like, wow, that's amazing that she could orchestrate that with Mark. The light that was coming in this room was incredible. We were all surrounded. The light was intense enough that it was hard to see at times, and we were just holding a great space that was going out to the world. And thank you so much for all of your work.
Thanks for reading Reiki on the plane. Who talks to someone across the aisle? Wow.
Who thought I'd be here? I have loved Jonette for 36 years since I've been blessed to be part of the family. But I had a pre-existing belief based on my strong religious framework and upbringing that I really feared anything that was outside of religious structure. And while I appreciate the loving guidelines and principles that that presents, because I think everybody strives to be a good person, until, like Mo said, we've always loved and supported your path, but I never understood or wanted to embrace what was beyond the religious scope of my teachings, and so, or what I was taught. And a year ago, my daughter, who has actually been close to Jonette in the higher spiritual sense and exploration mode, but chose a slightly different path, kind of opened my eyes that spirituality was more than going to church every Sunday, which I wasn't even doing that very well anymore. But for someone who always heard about the value of meditation and spirituality through meditation, because of my racing mind and what they categorized medically as ADD, I thought I was never able to achieve that. So for a year now, I've been able to meditate, quiet my mind, and even ask my spirit guides for direction. And this last week, when Jonette sent across a text asking if I would like to attend today, I have been practicing going to spirit guides, and instead of stressing about things or making immediate decisions, I asked the question of my spirit guide, should I go? Should I go to this event on Saturday? And because I thought, all of you that have been working with Jonette for so many years, that you were at a much higher plane, and I couldn't possibly hope to catch up in one day. And my spirit guide said very quickly, oh yes, you're ready for this now. So it's been a journey, and as we were going through the different levels, I wanted to share with you that at one of the lower levels, I'm not even sure, I think it was like the second or third, I got a very strong message as I was moving in and out of with other souls. Welcome was the message. And then at around level 5 or 6, I got welcome back. And about level 9, I got welcome home. And so, so I was supposed to be here today. And at level 9, I thought my brain was taking over again when I saw the eye of God. And if not for you saying, if some of you saw the eye of God, you registered there. It was like, you know, there is so much more to learn and explore, and I'm grateful to you for inviting me.
Thank you. Oh, wow, that's that's right. We're all further along than we ever knew. And as Mark channeled, you notice you are not who you thought you were. So thank you. I hope we're never who we thought we were. I hope we're certainly not who anybody else thought we were. And may we embrace the most amazing now for ourselves and for humanity. Thank you for being mystics. Thank you.